Okay, well, hello again, friends. Once again, if you are watching, thank you and welcome to another Prefect 99 live stream. It looks like on OBS I've got a little bit of electrical noise on my mic, so if that is coming through, I do apologise. It's something that's been plaguing me for a while. I don't know if it's the adapter, can't really see anything wrong, or if it's connections. But like I say, sorry if that is irritating and or distracting, although you probably can't hear any interference over the external sounds, etc., especially in flight. Anyway, back in Bilbao, and let's head south where it's a bit warmer to Gibraltar. I know it's across the pond day, so it's very busy, and Madrid Centre seems to be the only place that isn't lit up. And currently, there are 1,760 pilots online, 331 controllers, and none for where we're going. My bad, but I didn't even put in for a slot, so and I'm not sure I'd have the patience to do a across the pond in this. Anyway, let's get fired up. As always, if you are watching, please say hi.
Welcome to Hot Start Flight Support. How can we help you today?
Right, we will be taking ATIS, and it's half past, that's when we expect our packs. But we might see if we can get away early, so let's call for quarter past. No icing today, got 3 crew. 3 packs, we'll need some fuel. Might as well have the GPU, and that should be it.
Of course, Captain. I'll get that organized for you right away.
Brilliant, let's head out to the jet. Parked up where we left her. There it is, expertly parked, chucked some pins still in. Light winds, you can see the nose pin is a little bit trapped there. Nobody's arriving, a couple of people departing, so we should be the only ones here. Let's connect to VATSIM then. And let's load the flight up in Volanta. Excellent. So, all of that's running. Like I say, no ATC sadly for us. Boy oh boy, is it busy on that map. So, as you can see, no icing. The airplane has been updated. Hopefully the save state works. Let's see why it would be meticulous in checking things. Frame rate 34s, I can live with that. So let's hop in, make sure nothing disastrous has occurred overnight. I don't know if this couch converts to a bed. I don't know if you can remove the center armrests. So, toilet doors shut. I don't think there's been any other enhancements. I did have a look at the changelog, but I'm not going to say it's relatively minor, but the feature set additions are relatively small. Not that I'm sure it wasn't a lot of work. So, circuit breakers all appear to be in. Let's do all of these. Let's jump down into the seat. So, circuit breakers checked. And the battery connections are on. We haven't looked at the oil replenishment, maybe I'll do that on the end of this leg. Overhead switches all appear to be in the positions I left them in. So, no steering. Off matches hardware, as does the gear lever. Flight spoilers up. flaps up and they looked up outside. Landing gear, manual release down here is stowed, as is the ADG and test complete. Logbook can't do, docs, passports, etc. Safety equipment can't really do, apart from the fire extinguisher. And the external check we will do in a moment. So ground power is now available. Let's put the battery master on. And then we are looking for 22 volts DC. We've got 25, 22 minimum. FireX monitor, we can check that. 1, 2, 3, 4 green. APU 1 and 2 OK. Fire detector warning.
Jet pipe overheat.
1, 2, 3
Jet pipe
red, 3
overheat.
green, 5
Jet
warnings,
pipe overheat.
and the oral, and then the same for the fail. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 caution. So with that in mind, we can take ground power. And the batteries are now charging, so you can see there. TRUs are all looking sensible. And AC, you can see 115 volts, 400 hertz. On green, obviously the utils are off. And of course, I forgot to put those on.
Flight compartment checklist. AC and DC electrics.
Okay. No, I didn't want to do that. Okay, so clear, checked, and fuel next. We should have 1460. It says we've got 1440. I'm going to go with those figures. I'm going to take the 1460. So let's have a look up here. 1440 lamp test, kilos, looks sensible. There we go, it is increasing. So I think we'll expect 1660. I just need the density. Once we get that, then work out how much fuel we need. So AC DC electrics have been checked.
Nav lights, logo light.
Nav light on, logo not required.
Cockpit lights.
As required, you can see they're all on right.
Lamp test.
Let's go down here and do that. All lit up like a Christmas tree.
Duct monitor.
Bleed air duct.
1 oral, 5 warnings,
Air duct.
and duct test OK. And the 4 switch lights. Loop A green, loop B green.
FMS database status.
Let's recycle that so it deletes out what we had. Oh, somebody is pushing back here. I guess. Just looking at ATC, there's nothing on there. So I guess they are not using voice. There you go, you can see them there.
FMS flight plan uplink. HOTAS.
Let's do that while we wait for the fuel. So, index, route, recall. It's a pretty short one today via airways, so relatively easy. And on this side, we will take set the weather up. So that's where we are. So we're going, and that is our alternate. So we're doing those.
Anti-skid.
Let's test that. Anti-skid green.
Nose door.
So clear left, clear right. Fuel is here.
Hydraulic 3A pump.
So 3A on.
Brake pressure.
Just waiting for 3000 psi. That's a lot of PSIs.
All right, Captain. Fuel truck is hooked up. Just let me know how much fuel you need. Or would you like to go tanks full today?
Okay, brake set.
Nose door.
So we'll take 1240 divided 0.82. Gives us 1512.2.
Right. I'm gonna go start up the pump.
Good, which is actually perfect timing. So open up the wing tanks. There you go, pressure, and fuel is flowing, shut off test. Works. Happy days. So let's go outside. Brakes are on, so we can take these off. So like I say, I don't think there's any new features. APU's off, so we're not going to get burnt. So we're all on, you can see the hose connection. Out come the chocks. Off come the covers. Nose pin is out. So where is he? Looks like that one over there. That's good to see, a bit of traffic online. Don't know if that's correct livery, but I'm waving. So those are all off. When we depart, we should have enough room to immediately do a right turn and head back 180 on ourselves. Our route today is Eurocontrol validated. I think the route charges, it says, would be 150 euros. So nose door is closed.
Hydraulic panel and pumps.
So swap those over. 3A goes right, 3B stays on. Others come on. Pressure goes up. All serviceable. Of course, you can do this a lot quicker. In reality, you just knock them all down. Why does this not want to work for me? Good, checked. No cautions, and then of course they do come back on.
Electric panel.
Gen 1, 2 off.
AC/DC utility switch.
Come on. Light out.
Start ignition panel.
All off. Out. Extinguished.
Fuel panel.
1, 2, 3. Both green. 2 whites. 1, 2, 3. 1 white, 2
Fuel
greens.
is complete, Captain. Do you need anything else?
So he's giving us 2640. That should keep going up. No, that's fine.
Okay, just one quick signature on here, and I'll be on my way. Here's a copy for your records. Have a nice day.
So that one's out. That one comes out. That one goes off. That one comes on. That one goes out. Out. Off. Amber. Caution checked.
CPU LCV.
They're going to be off because it's not running.
10th stage isolation valve.
As is that. The cabin is 13 degrees, so not too bad. Outside is 10.
Packs.
Off.
Air conditioning panel.
Checked. Normal ram air out. Extinguished. Guarded. Temps as required. Set to cabin.
Pressurization panel.
ECAS 0. The altitude is minus 200. And that seems a bit strange to me, so let's go over here, check the weather. We'll do the flight plan in a moment. 1023. So why do we have a cabin out of minus 200? That's out a little bit, I think. It's about 100 feet above sea level. 3021. Interesting. But not spectacularly different. So, man out centered, man rate all the way, pressure contact manual once, manual on ECAS, out, full light comes on, emergency depress, out, extinguished, guarded. Our arrival is going to be pretty much sea level. There we go, and about the same. 3010. Rate pips in line. Checked set.
Lead air panel.
So all out, they will come all on once we start the APU.
Supplemental ground wing anti-ice panel switch.
Down here, all out, off.
Cal anti-ice switches.
So we pop them in, no caution, out, no caution.
Anti-ice panel.
So wings off, left, right, heat not illuminated, cowls out, extinguished. These go to high, test. 1, 2, 3, 4, okay. Set them off. Nice detection. Checked. Wing overheat. Let's put more.
Wing overheat.
1 overheat, 1 test, okay.
Wing overheat.
Emergency lights.
They are currently off, and it says they're off. I'll go and check them. Says they're on. Pop to arm. No cautions.
Passenger signs.
Off.
ELT.
Armed.
Glare shield panel.
Checked.
Crew and passenger oxygen.
1870 psi.
DCU warning panel.
Out. Extinguished. Guarded.
CVR.
Check. Test light comes on.
Audio panels.
So we know it's working. We've got 1 and COM 1, and on this side we're on Unicom, VHF1, mic 1.
SPS system.
So door protection left and right are both on. Display the flight control panels. Stab trim 1 on, strip all the way down. Stab trim disconnect. Cautions. So left and right. Stall fail caution. Ignition for AB. Warnings, cautions. Push, goes back, push, goes forwards. Release, cautions.
Integrated standby instrument.
We checked, and it appeared serviceable.
Clock.
That is flight time 0 and UTC correct.
Main landing gear bay overheat.
Gear bay overheat.
1 oral, 1 warning.
User bay overheat.
Check the fail as well. Checked.
Pause warning switches.
All out. Extinguished, guarded. Test.
Glide slow. Pull up. Wind shear. Wind shear. Wind shear. Terrain. Terrain. Pull up.
Finish, test okay, and then you can see there, look at the peaks, 3.2 and a low of 0. Turn that off, but yeah, at least you know it works.
Pitch and roll disconnects.
In and stowed.
Ground spoilers.
Auto,
Thrust reversers.
checked and armed.
Thrust levers.
1 full free correct shut off, 2 full free correct shut off.
Engine speed switches.
On,
Engine vibration check.
up to 3.5, VIB caution, and off.
Oral warning.
That works.
Smoke detector.
Smoke.
Oral 2 warnings, toilet
Smoke.
baggage.
Trims. Mock trim.
So currently we have stab trim and that stab trim 2 in-op, reset, back trim, stab trim, that stab trim 1, reset, push, stab trim gone, push, back trim gone, set for takeoff. Which again, I think 5.6 felt quite nice yesterday. Certainly without the zoom climb, although we may do that. Warn the packs that we are going to do a max performance climb. Trims checked.
Yacht ampers.
On. Engaged, no caution.
Reversionary inhibit switches.
All set, normal, and the MFDs are out.
IRS.
Let's have a look here. 2 IRS, 1, 2, 3 nav, sensible.
CPD-LC.
We can't do, there's nobody online for España.
TCAS.
That we can do.
TCAS system test OK.
ATIS and clearance.
So whether we do have over here 1230, it's 320 at 12, variable between 280 and 360 degrees, greater than 10k, scattered at 3000, scattered at 4500, temperature is 9, dew point is 1, QNH 1023, which is set, tempo 3000, showers of rain, scattered 3000 Terra cumulus. Clearance we can't do, so let's
FMS flight plan. Wind update. Perf.
let's do that. So we already know our ultimate is Echo Mike Golf. We are going to AMTOS Upper Lima 14 to November Echo Alpha, Upper November 864 to PIMOS, and then we're going to have to build our own arrival because it is not in there. So activate that. And let's check the legs, that's fine, let's go perf in it. We've got 2690, wanted 27, so close enough. Just scribbling the total fuel all over the flight plan. So our cruise is 390. So cleared that side, did that one. Our alternate cruise out is on the second page, and that's flight level 260. Our zero fuel weight 12912. 12912. So I'm going to execute that. We'll get the winds in a moment. Our minimum takeoff fuel is 2161. The block fuel was 27. And final reserve is 403. I don't think that does it to the nearest 5. I think it does it to the nearest 10. So just there you go. See, our estimated time of departure is going to offer 13:45. I'm going to put 13:30 because I think a little earlier than that. Probably use 100 kilos for taxi, if not maybe a little bit more. Not that it matters because once we're in the air, it starts to do the calculations anyway. So VNav setup. What I need to do is get Bilbao's charts. The airport elevation is 136. No, I'm not looking for that. I'm looking for the SID. So we are going to AMTOS. Transition altitude is 6,000. Yes, I need to update the defaults. So 250 flight level 100. Oh, that's off runway 10. Never mind, it'll be the same for the others. We're going to do 378. It's going to be a 0.82 cruise. And it's going to be 78300 for the descent. And on arrival, transition altitude is 6,000 and the level will be by ATC, and I think it will be flight level 70. Good enough. Now that we've done that, I think we should be able to do the flight plan wind update. And that has done it. Sorry, I was just looking at the OFP, scribbling through that. If you are watching, please say hi. So, FMS flight plan, wind update, and perf. I think we have done. No, we haven't. Let's go through the perf. So it's now giving us 10 degrees.
Takeoff data.
Let's do that takeoff data, shall we? So, the winds are 320. So why did somebody just take off on runway 12? Winds are 320 and 12. That's a significant tailwind. I can only think they're just going straight off of what they've got. And if we look here, 320 12. So hello.
Hello, Captain. It's Jenny from Hot Start Flight Support.
Hello, Jenny.
Your passengers have arrived. Shall I have them brought to the plane?
No thanks.
Understood. Just call me when you're ready to receive them. Anything else?
Nope, that's it.
Always a pleasure. Take care.
So, we are going to depart. I wonder, could we go from runway 28? We'd need to backtrack, otherwise we're going to be going up, crossing. We'll either backtrack. Could we do a turn on the runway? Let's see what it would be on 28. So, as we've got there, 320 at 12. Half and half. So, I mean, that's comfortably within crosswind, and we're going to have to taxi back that way anyway. So, can we do it with what we've got? 1023, 10 degrees, which is what we've got, and reduce performance minus 129. 15.6, comfortable for takeoff. So, actually, let's do that. Now, from runway 28, can we get to AMTOS? Apparently we can. So let's take that. So V-speeds checked. Send those through. They've populated. So that'll save us some time. And we can manage it. So takeoff data is done.
Avionics and charts.
3 watching. Catchy Muscle, hello mate, have not seen you for a long time. I thought you might be all over across the pond. But thanks for joining. Note, I have not been in the Zebo mod for a little while. So, PFD rose, I'm just going to reset the distance a bit there. We have, on the other one, PIMOS mode. Happy with all of those. Charts, I've got on my iPad, and I'm happy with what I've got. There's no restriction on departure. Right, 200 is bugged. So initial climb clearance is flight level 80. Have they improved the acceleration? Well, a little bit, but it's still going to be a bit tedious for me to wind this up, despite repeated requests. I'm going to set 8.1 just to remind ourselves that we have cleared in case anyone comes online. Wish you had the time, yeah, 8-hour flights. It's fine in Concorde, but my tolerance is not great otherwise. So, let's have a look at the departure. So, AMTOS 20, send to turn left, we need Bilbao 159. Don't have that set. I do now have Bilbao set. 216 outbound. Talk about that for the departure. AMTOS 10. Fine.
Flight instruments.
So, ping N1TO. Nav. Yes. So I'm going to arm nav. Flight director sensible. Attitude indicator sensible. We are facing pretty much due south, so that's fine. FMS1 for departure. V speeds set. 150 is the second climb safety speed. I think it's actually flaps -5. I'll have to check. Anyway, bug to 200 because we are going to accelerate. We go to Santa, which is ahead, and then do a 10 DME arc to the left. Do that at 200. LNAV's armed. TO out set. 8.1 will set to 8. VSI is set. VSI is 0. QNH is set. N1TO is 89.3. I'm going to disarm N1TO. But that is checked.
Departure briefing.
So, the departure briefing is straight ahead. Well, it's 279. So, I think that's the runway heading. Should have gone the other way, really, shouldn't I? Quicker. Airborne runway 277, and then it's 279 from the VOR to Santu, which is 8 DME left turn, 10 DME arc at 228. My 228 radial, start turning right to intercept 216 to AMTOS, which is 22.1 DME above flight level 100. 250 below, 10, and SIDS require some minimum climb gradients, so we can work those out in a moment. They're in percent. There is a way you can change that, but it may not be on there. So we'll look at those climb gradients in a moment, and that is probably terrain related because the MSA is 7 to the south where we're going, 4.5 to the northeast, and 6.2 to the northwest.
Emergency procedures.
Nope.
Pins, covers, chocks.
Fine, done.
Cabin lights, water heaters, master seat. Flight compartment checklist complete.
So
Engine start checklist next.
let's look at these 675 feet per minute, and we've got it in percent. So Atmos 2 Sierra requires 7% up to 5, and then 4.2 to 100. So 7% at 200 knots is 1418. That is relatively interesting. So now which way do we do this down? The level off is actually 7. So if we try, required climb gradient in feet per minute is 1418. Or can I not do it that way around? Oh no, that's feet per nautical mile, and we've got feet per minute. Ah, okay, my bad. So 675 feet per nautical mile. What I need to figure out is how to switch this to percent. I think in index, page 2 defaults. I'm actually going to set 400 taxi fuel. I'm going to set 100. That's fine, I'll leave those. Might as well do this now. 300.78 saves me doing it every time. So transition, why don't we set 6 and 70. We still need to change those, but at least it's something sensible. Holding speed, yes. DME, yes. 914, yes, yes. Temp conversation off, that's fine. I want that, there we go. See, it is possible. Right, so after that particular bit of junk, takeoff. There we go, 11%, and we need 7%. So actually, happy days. We are well and truly fine, even with one engine out. So I think that's the worst case. So I'm happy with that. Let's get the APU started. So APU power fuel is on. Nav lights are on, and APU with 2690. There it is, powering up. Stop the timer. And by the time we are fired up, the cabin is 13 degrees, so we can get the packs in.
start flight support. Jenny speaking. How can we help?
Hello, Jenny. Please bring the passengers.
Understood. They'll be there in a couple of minutes. Anything else?
No, that's brilliant, thanks.
Always a pleasure. Take care.
So, ATMOS to Sierra is our departure from runway 28. Let's have a look at the legs. Runway 28, 1000, and then direct Santu, intercept that arc. Yes, 227 Juliet, yes, Atmos, I think that's our departure. See if the weather's updated. Yes, I know I'm obsessed with it, but I would just listen to it if we had ATIS, which we do not. So APU gen off. I'm going to keep power and everything off for 2 minutes. Sorry, you can't quite see the timer. There it is. $1,300, so it's worth writing down the time so you know which weather you've got. Just like in reality, I'm going to give it a little bit longer. 290.13. So that swung around quite a bit. 250 variable 320 10 plus scattered 3000 TCU towering cumulus scattered 5 9 2.5, so the humidity is going up. 1023 is still current, and we can pop the APU gen on, pop that out, check AC is running, DC is running, all the buses are on a green, therefore we can open those, all the lights on, packs on, happy days. So we will disconnect the ground power, please, sir.
Hello, Captain. How are you today?
Fine, thanks.
That's great to hear. Well, we're all set back there, so we can get going anytime.
Excellent, get comfy. We're meant to be on 1501. Good, so flight plan times and everything have been written down. They are on board and good to go. So, let's shut the door. Shut door.
Engine start checklist. Doors.
So, what I'm going to do is redo the
Parking
perf.
brake and pressure. Checked and set. Fuel quantity and balance.
Check 20 kilos.
Beacon.
We'll do that in a moment. So, I'm going to update this 29013. Still going to have ample performance. It's still 10 degrees. V-speeds are obviously deselected. And you can see that that increase in headwind and the decrease in crosswind has reduced our field length. But even without it, it's still going to be fine. So, send those back through. They are populated. And what do we need to do? So, index, no, tune 2000 out on. And we would call up if there was anyone online. And there is not anyone online. There is also nobody about. So, on comes the beacon.
Fuel boost pumps. On. Ignition.
What did we use yesterday? A. We cargo today.
Engine 2 start.
So let's check. Thumbs up for start. Pop those on. So start engine number 2. N2's rising, oil pressure's rising. 20%, less than 120, N1's turning. Fuel on, fuel flow increases. ITT increases, oil pressure is increasing.
Fuel system.
So pumps off, waiting for the right engine's running, so it's the left engine low pressure. That's left and right fuel pump. There's the left fuel low pressure, so those can go back in. Cautions off.
Engine 1 start.
Thumbs up, start engine number 1, so we will start engine number 1. There you go, N2's turning, oil pressure's increasing. ITT is less than 120, 20% N2, N1 turning, fuel on, fuel flow increasing, oil pressure increasing, and ITT increasing. One thing you do have to do, Catchy, is get this jet. If you haven't already, I can't remember if you said you
Checklist complete.
have it or not.
After start checklist, next. After start checklist. Generator 1 and 2.
So I'm going to pop those on, but first we'll get the chocks out.
On, check AC and DC. Ignition.
AC and DC have been checked. Wait for the thumbs up. Good. Disarm.
Disarmed. Pass. On. 14th stage. Open. Cowl anti-ice. On. Check 45 seconds. Flight controls.
Also going to do that one. So, full forward, full aft, full left, full right, full left rudder, full right rudder.
Ground spoilers.
So, auto not deployed, disarmed, not deployed, set to arm, deployed, set to auto, stowed.
Flight spoilers.
All the way up. They're all out. Halfway, closed, checked.
Cowl anti-ice.
So Cal Anti-Ice is on, as is the advisory message.
Supplemental ground wing anti-ice.
That's also on. I did it earlier because I think that's a better point to do it.
Fuel balance.
Checked 30 kilos.
Trims.
1, 2, 3, checked, set for takeoff.
No steer.
Okay, the chocks out, no steering on.
Armed. APR.
APR test 1. Why did that not work? There we go. APR. Test 1 okay, APR enunciated. APR 2. Test okay, enunciated.
ADG unit.
Check the unit. Down 1,000, 2,000 and out.
Supplemental ground wing anti-ice.
Before we get to 2 minutes, freebies for helping with promo shots. Nice! That's worth doing. Too much money, no time. Yeah, well, personally, I think, and I hope you agree after watching these, that I think it's worth the money, even though it is quite expensive. It's certainly worth it, but you make a good point. If you haven't got the time to get familiar with it, it is a big, big learning curve. Oh, DCS Apache. I still haven't got into DCS. Then I definitely would have no time. So, 2 minutes. I suppose it could be a bit later. I think this just works off the timer rather than actually heating up. But there we go. Out.
Cal anti-ice.
Up here. Off.
Off. Wing anti-ice. Norm.
Off.
14th stage isolation valve.
In, light, on, out, light, off.
Wing anti-ice.
So, wing anti-ice on. That's green. Check for yellow N2. We've got left and right heat. We've got move it to standby
Check
to
off.
check.
ATS.
Same off. He wants M1TO. I don't.
ATC TCAS.
On.
After start checklist complete. Taxi checklist next.
Excellent. So it's going to be about 13:21 before we get going. Have I got charts? Got the charts I need. I'm going to do a 180 and then hold and then backtrack. So there's actually no one here. Haven't disabled, that's fine. There's no ILS for our runway. Bilbao traffic. Prefect 99 taxiing hold Delta 3 via stand 7 and taxiway Delta. Bilbao traffic. So clear left, clear right. Shocks are out. We should. It'd be nice if we had a C off actually.
Taxi checklist. Taxi lights. On. Wing and cowl anti-ice.
Not required.
Brakes and steering.
So we're going to do that. It is 13:21. We have 2630 kilos on board. Checked. We're rolling. Brakes work. And I haven't got any differential running yet, but I'm going to start our turn here. I could get the differential thrust on if I needed to. You can see we're going to easily make this turn. So full right clearly works. I've already checked the brakes. You can of course check them individually. There's the left, it sort of pulled to the left. Surprisingly we need a little bit to get going. A little bit to the right, so you can check them individually to make sure they're not blocked. Full left's available. There we go.
Reverse thrust.
So let's try the left. Deployed, stowed. Just struggling to get over this little hump. So deployed and stowed, so they work. I don't want MTO just yet. Checked.
If taxiing the D-ice, pause checklist here until paper D-ice checklist is complete.
Well, we're not.
Flaps. 20. Altimeters. Set and cross check. Radar weather. On.
So
Takeoff briefing.
terrain on for me. Takeoff briefing. We have discussed we're going to enter and backtrack 1028. Turn round at the end and then we'll roll from there. We've got tons of runway available compared to what we need. We will go all the way back. And we've discussed our departure.
Taxi checklist complete. Before takeoff checklist next.
So we'll do the before takeoff checklist as we backtrack. Bilbao traffic, prefect 99 entering backtrack runway 28 Bilbao traffic. So we should get the anti-collisions on. Clear left, clear right. What I am going to do is pop TARA on just because we are entering the runway. Did he do it? Yes. It's good RFO. So, still no ATC. I'm going to set our initial climb. Going to go all the way down to the end. And we're going to try not to... We're going to, well, as you can see, the runway is plenty wide enough for us to do a turn, and we're not going to cross the hold for the cross runway. Well, yeah, can you imagine how busy it would be? Although, I mean, you'd like to think they'd be able to take the inbounds. It's the departures that you'd be quite delayed. I'm trying to fit those departures in the slots. I'd like to think inbound wouldn't have been a problem. But, depends how many controllers they've got, doesn't it? But yeah, you'd have needed quite a lot of holding fuel, I guess. But it's no different to reality, is it? You know, there's a finite number of inbounds and a finite number of outbounds you can accommodate. Well, if the outbounds are full, then you should be able to get the inbounds sorted. We're going up to 30 knots. I think the straight line limit for this aeroplane is 25, and this looks like a worrying lump ahead. Oh. A worrying bit of ortho there. Maybe I need to redo a lot of the tiles. So surprising how far this hold is forwards. So we won't cross it. But I would have thought it would have been a little bit closer. So this could just be a scenery error.
Before takeoff checklist. Passenger signs. Advised on. Anti-collision light. On. Pros. On. Windshield heat. On. Wing and cowl anti-ice.
Not required.
Continuous ignition. On. ATC TCAS. TARA. Supplemental ground wing anti-ice panel. Checked. CAS. Takeoff config OK.
It was.
Landing, pulse, recog lights. On. Before takeoff checklist complete. After takeoff checklist next.
So it's 13:27. We've got 2580. I set the parking brake. You should do that in reality. Bilbao traffic. Prefect 99. Taking off runway 28. AMTOS 2 Sierra departure. Bilbao traffic. Brakes off. Right. FD's off. M1TO's back on. There we go. We are good to go. And nav is on. Boom. And from the displacement here, the calculations would have been taken from the threshold here, so we are still golden. A little bit high on the M1. Airspeed's indicating V1 rotate. A bit sticky. Really didn't want to get off the ground there. Positive rate gear up. Do that cool. I know there's the plug-in. You can see that variable wind knocking the aeroplane about a bit. Safe height, safe speed, flaps up.
After takeoff checklist. Landing gear. Up. Flaps. 0. Thrust reversers. Off. Ignition. Off. Pressurization. Checked. PAX transition. Completed. N1. Climb set. APU generator. Off.
Let's try 220.
Shut down. Passenger signs.
We'll leave on for the moment, it's a bit bumpy.
CAS.
Checked, APR still on, but essentially clear.
After takeoff checklist complete.
Set standard. And I just don't want to scream round this arc. I think our climb rate actually, that looks pretty good. I think our climb rate actually is going to give us, I think we can actually take the direct. So once we're above 7, I'm going to set 390 now. For the final cruise. And I'm going to skip this arc. So let's actually just go direct AMTOS. Because we're above the MSA. I'm going to keep the speed down in this turn. Let's go flight level change to 20. because we can do with a little bit of extra climb. Hi John, yes, click spots to check for surfaces. I did see that, but didn't want to go around clicking things and potentially breaking them, so I thought best not. And as you've seen before, I used the data ref up there to check for ice, but it's a good addition. Anyway, passing 100, lights can come off. Pop that to auto. Cabin is climbing steady and is currently at 1000 with a diff of 4.5. There we are, let's go 300. So vertical speed to 3. Wind up to 300 knots. And then just double check, tidy this up. Frame rate 30 something, but occasionally drops down. X-Pilot's still being weird and twitchy. I might report that as a bug. There you go, even at 3,000 feet a minute, we're accelerating quite comfortably. And of course, as we speed up, we can go to flight level change because that pitch has calmed down. So we did self-direct to ATMOS. Bilbao, 4 Bravo, completely different plan. Tidy all that up later. There you go, and then as we approach, I mean it's probably actually easier to do it with, it's not CWS in this, is it? But similar. Just to keep it relatively smooth. Flight level change 300, LNAV, out select, flight level 390, standard set. Cabin is still climbing comfortably. There we go. So that was a little bit cheeky, but we had ample performance to meet the requirements. That's it, and we definitely weren't going to hit anything. So a direct at ATMOS would probably have been something expedient that ATC would have granted or offered. Let's pop those on just for a second. Still climbing at 4,000 feet a minute, even with the anti-ice on. There we are, overhead ATMOS. I'll call that 3-3. So we're well and truly early. 2-3, is it going to be 2-360 on board? No, 2-370, which is what's expected with the OFB. Actually 2.4 is closer, so we gained a little bit of fuel. And I think we're 18 minutes early. Passing 200, cabins 2.6, climbing at 500 nice and steady, delta P's at 7.3. Oh yes, well, I mean ATC loves shortcuts, so do the airlines, don't forget. It saves them a fortune in fuel. If that's just saved us 50 kilos and we're happily en route, then doing that a few times a day across many hundreds of aeroplanes really does add up, and ATC are keen on it, Eurocontrol are keen on it from an environmental perspective too. So why are we off track? I think the FMS is just correcting quite comfortably there. Just doing it quite gradually, like I would. And then all the way down, right, once we get to cruise, we'll think about our arrival and what we're going to do for that. You can see it still bouncing about. There is a Sigma for a mountain wave. I'm quite sure that's in the sector that we're in at the moment. but it looks like quite a nice day. Certainly a good day for across the pond, and wow, look at many of the thousands of aeroplanes zipping across the virtual world. So Gibraltar, we appear to be the only arrival today. It's a bit sad, disappointing. So, approaching 7.8. I don't think VNAV works in the climb. Just looking at our file flight plan. What is plan TAS 474? Any Ryanairs with realistic cruise profiles? 441. Sounds realistic. Anyway, there's 7.8, changed over. .423 miles, 56 minutes. It's probably going to reduce down a little bit. So our scheduled, well, our planned time is 45, we're off at 27. So again, 18 minutes early. We didn't do the others, and we took off with 2580, which is about right. The plan says 2.6, so it's to the nearest 100. So about 110 prior to departure. Quite at top of climb yet. Tabanera is the November Echo Alpha VOR. That's 11675. So why don't we pop down that one? Not that we need it, but there you go. Just as a backup. Oh, I forget you guys cannot see that. There it is. Which I do apologise for, but I think you probably prefer being able to see the ND. We're talking about ND. I'm talking about the PFD that we would call it on the 7.3. What is it called here? Probably the same. So it's only SRAs available. Why the military one? So it's no tapped at the moment. There's military SRA not available, but we're not going to get an SRA anyway, because of course there's nobody online. Mil SRA for runway 09 US. So I don't quite get that. I think it's either one or the other. Can't pick up the TACAN, and I've put that on the forums. Wondering if that's an X-plane issue or an aeroplane issue. The TACAN is US anyway, so it's a bit of a disaster. I'm not sure how anyone can get in IMC to Gibraltar, which is a bit of a worry. like I say, the LPVs have been withdrawn because Brexit. What I am surprised is that we haven't gone down the GBAS, ground-based augmentation system approach, rather than space-based, i.e. using EGNOS, because although I don't think they've got Cat 3 on the GBAS stuff, fundamentally you get multiple approaches out of one, and it's ground-based infrastructure, so the satellite constellations, I can't see how it's not cheaper. I know the satellites are already there, but I can't see us either paying or going down the route of lots of money to create our own, when the ground-based stuff would just be better. I appreciate there is potentially a strategic risk when it comes to they could get bombed, but then I think you've got other things to worry about if your GBAS stations are being taken out. Excuse me, a little tickle there. Too much talk. So yeah, that's I'll have to. I'm pretty sure GBAS has been trialled. Maybe Malaga have one. But I do find it interesting that that isn't something that we have gone down the route of, somewhere we could potentially lead. There is a GBAS portal on Eurocontrol. So, 1,000 to go. And this is, of course, GBAS is also something that's definitely going to come in the future for enabling increased runway throughput, because you can have multiple touchdown points from the same starting point in space. So, I think we're overhead VOR slightly before the top of the climb. So 43, and we're at 2130, which is on target. Just waiting for us to transition into out capture. You can see the needle twitching over the VOR. It's very satisfying when you get that to do it in a flash when you've gone right over the top. There's out captures, set decimal 82. And we are top of climb at 4.3 as well. We're still 18 minutes early. 2110. So there we are, accelerating and en route. Cabin out just flicked up. Oh, it's bouncing between up and down. Seems a little bit keen. Don't know if you guys can see that. So we're still at climb power to accelerate. There we go. 49 minutes to go to GIB. It's actually going to be a little bit longer than that because we are going to PIMOS. And then I think it's going to be 09, which will take us to unbutt, and then we're going to have to make up some points, unfortunately, for an SRA civil. I have to get to RIPRA. Uh, 001 or 360, so we're going to go to RIPRA. And then it's going to be a 6-mile radar fix until we get to point X-ray. And this would just be for guidance. There's a mandatory 15, 20, trying to do a continuous descent. I don't like that level off. I think we do because it's mandatory for a mile. So we could descend to that slightly early. Turbulent approach. Procedure is non-compliant with PANSOP's criteria. Visual approach is only point X-ray. You must be continued visually or execute a missed approach. So with that in mind, I'm on the wrong window. There we go. So I think we can go from unbut, hopefully that's in the database. We go from unbut to 6 DME radar fix. No, that's going to give me a headache. No, I'll build it from RIPRA, do 6 miles because we can fix in a distance. We can't do a DME, and we haven't got a radar fix either, so. Let's have a look at the arrival weather. So 1320 080 at 19, so it's definitely going to be runway 09. 10k, fuel at 3,500, so the weather is suitable for the approach. Gauge 1015, no significant weather remark. Blue TAF. So 12 to, that's a long period, 090, 18 gust 28, 10k scattered 3,500, prop 30 tempo. So don't forget this is not for the area, this is just for the airfield, which means if you've got showers, prop 30, the wider you start to increase that area, the more chance there is that you'll experience it. So that prop 30 is only valid for 10 miles within the airfield, I think. Tempo so between 12 and 8, which is today. Scattered to 4, so windy with gusts increasing. So we might find that 18 gust 28. So we can add another 10 knots on, so it'll be plus 9 up to plus 20. So it'll be quite the fast approach speed. We need to bleed all of that off. So let's just do overhead Orbis, quick check. That's 4.8, and I think we're 20 minutes early now. And we've got 2020, which is slightly less fuel, so the fuel burn is slightly out. It's not the end of the world. So runway 09 can't do a 5-mile extension. Even that's not going to be ideal. So we're probably it's going to be straight out. We're going to need to turn to intercept it. So let's see if we can build this arrival. So PIMOS, yes. Then we have to go to up. Up, yes, then unbutt. So that's interesting because I think I had to add that one originally because it wasn't in, but you can see that it is. You can see that I added that as an en route waypoint rather than a terminal one. Then RIPRA, which we're going to take out. So RIPRA, yes, and then we need 360 for 6 miles. And I'm going to call that 6 fix. Oh no, I'm an idiot. Should have been 5 miles, not 6. So, let's delete that one. So it's RIPRA 3605, and that's the 6 mile fix. Does that work, mate? 090 line up after RIPRA 36. Right turn. Let's just build this and see how we get on, because I want to put this point in because I'm not actually going to go to RIPRA, I'm going to go direct to the 6 mile fix. So, what just happened? Where did it go? Why did that not work? Okay, wait. Uh-oh. I think I just broke the sim. Sorry, guys. I think I just broke everything. That's annoying. I think I might do this flight tomorrow and not do that. That's incredibly annoying. So let me just ping this crash report. I'll save it and I'll pop it on the forums. And I'll get a bit peckish. So yes, apologies. I think we will do this tomorrow, and I will try not to get it wrong. Of course, we could reload it, but it's just a bit of a disaster. So yeah, apologies. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Enjoy Cross the Pond if you are watching it. And what I really need to do is get just a little holding card so that you've got something on screen. So apologies for that, guys. Until tomorrow, hopefully we'll fly again. Look after yourselves, and I'll see you again soon. And all I can say is terribly sorry. Bye for now.